let's just get started. It's 45 past the hour, so we don't have much time to play with. Hey guys, I'm Jesse Boo with the Boodudes. I thought it would be really fun if we had a show that we could all check in together with and spend an hour talking about the spookiest things happening in the Booniverse this year. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I have high hopes for this show, but it's show number 1, and we're already not off to a great start. Ghastly Mike Hack and Slash assured me that he would be here. He is not. But that's okay. I put my confidence in people, and I learned this lesson over and over again, that I was wrong to do so. And I am the only one I can trust. Anyway, let me please introduce to you The Witching Hour with the Boodudes.
On YouTube, you fucking idiot.
Again, this is going to be an hour-long program every week where you can check in on the spookiest things happening in the Booniverse. Like I did mention, Ghastly Mike is not here, even though he said he would be. But we do have a guest for you this week, so it's not a total loss. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I do think it's going to be therapeutic. I think we have a lot to learn from each other, and let's just get straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please introduce to you our first guest on the Witching Hour with the Boodudes. Dr. Dankenstein. Ladies and gentlemen, please give him a hand.
Oh, well, thank you very much for having me.
First of all, may I offer you a drink? This is a Franken Stout. Shock the system, unleash the monster. So, if you'd like to go ahead and take that there. Okay, well, I'll just put it right here. Dr. Dankenstein, first couple of questions for you. Where did you get your doctorate?
A funny story about that, actually. A doctor is just my first name. However, I was given an honorary doctorate by Transylvania Tech later in my afterlife.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's obvious. What did you study, by the way?
Well, of the little studying that I did, I studied botany and the marijuana plant so that I could further poison children's minds and convert them to my cause, raising voodoo zombies with ganja gas and voodoo glass, you see. Of course, because of my murderous work, I was later stripped of my honorary doctorate and shamed by the medical community.
Okay. I don't know if I can support that, but to each his own. So let's get right down to brass tacks. What happened last year was a travesty. You're well known to hotbox coffins in the grave. You're well known to dig up corpses with voodoo glass and reanimate them using your shameful plant, and you inject it straight into children's veins, and they inject knives into other children because of the violence that your plant causes them. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you this camera. I'm going to go ahead and give you an opportunity to apologize.
Well, while I am truly very sorry, there is no amount of apologizing that can make up for the horrors that I have unleashed upon the world.
Okay.
Of course, that shame was a leading contributor to my subsequent suicide, where I put a silver bullet in my head and then set myself on fire until I become the shallow husk that you see sitting before you today. However, because marijuana is such a deadly and addictive plant, statistics show that I will very likely relapse to my murderous ways. I do love what you're trying to do with the show, by the way.
Yeah, well, we're trying. We're trying. Things could be a lot better. I am staying in Tad Dracula's basement right now. As you know, we did have that lawsuit last year, and we won a sizable settlement. But I gave away all of my money. I didn't want to touch any of that dirty money that you and the substances that you have created brought to us ultimately, because there was for people who don't know, there was a band called, well, we won't get into who they were, but we had a lawsuit last year, and they were caught selling our merch, and we countersued them, and we actually won and had a sizable settlement. But again, I didn't want any of that dirty money. Ghastly Mike took his and ran with it. He actually started some businesses, which I'm actually kind of proud of him for. I think it's really good to be financially responsible. And I think it's really good to go ahead and take your money and invest it. Don't just spend it wantonly. I think he's finding his path. Hopefully he'll be here next week. Again, he assured me that he was going to be here, and I am a little disappointed. But Boodudes fans out there, you don't have to wait too long, because Ghastly Mike will be back here soon. And Ghastly Mike, if you are watching this, please, please, please return my texts. I've been writing a lot of songs. I've got a lot of great stuff that I think would be great on a new Boodudes record. It's really bass heavy right now. It's pretty much only bass. So all you would have to do is come in and just like lay down some guitar tracks, and we have another Boodudes album ready to go.
Well, if history is any guide, then I'm sure they're banging tracks. Boodudes are objectively the greatest band of all time, even though you do have a few songs that dog on me a little bit, but I deserve it.
Yeah.
But don't worry about Ghastly Mike, I'm sure he's gonna come around. Just focus on what you do best, which is informing people about the local music community.
Oh, yes, thank you. But in other news, I do think it would be fun if on this show we talked about music and talked about new releases that came out. And this week we actually do have a really great release. Olivia Jean with Night Owl is her album. We actually played a show with her at Fond Object last year, 2 years ago? 2 years ago. And I don't know, it was a great time. A lot of people showed up, and it was really fun. And all the best to her, Olivia Jean. So check out the album. It sounds pretty cool. Night Owl, it reminds me of the night, and so it's got a little bit of a spooky vibe. So, I enjoy that. How are you enjoying this beer, buddy? Can I have a sip? Yeah. But yeah, we had a great time, and it was I don't know, it was really enjoyable. I'm just gonna put this over here, thank you. But yeah, we had a great time. So another segment I'd like to introduce for you is, what if we went back into the catacombs and looked at the catalog from the catacombs and, introduce some Boodudes songs that are some classics, and I think you're gonna like it. This song got a bad rap last year. Again, with the lawsuit, many of you will recall, the band that will not be named actually forced us to be a ska band. And I don't know, honestly, people were ragging on us a lot, and I think the songs were actually pretty good. We had to scrap our magnum opus, Spookadelica 2045. I was really excited for that album to come out too, but I don't know, I think things turned out for the best. We were forced to be a ska band, but we wrote some pretty cool songs. They were pretty fun. But with that in mind, let me introduce to you the song that I like from last year, Ska Ska Scary, off of the album Ska Ska Scary. It had some other tracks and B-sides, like Curse of the Dance Hall Duppy and Texas Chain Ska Massacre. But I think the title track really says it all. So I guess without further ado, let me introduce to you to that classic tune, Ska Ska Scary by the Boodudes. And again, hopefully we're not the Boodude this year. Hopefully we are the Boodudes. Once again, Ghastly Mike, if you watch this, please return my texts. I think we've got a lot of great songs we can release this year, but all you have to do is answer me. So, all right. Once again, I'm sorry, everybody. I thought this was going to be a lot better, but I think it's going to turn out all right. And I'll see you next week. It'll be a great show from now on, forever. This is Ska Ska Scary.
Ska scary, we're so scary. Ska creatures that are hairy. It's Halloween. Baba Berry in the spooky cemetery. So ska ska scary, compulsory Halloween. Babylon's a paper to the voodoo man. He come for me money and he take me song and we say innocent, innocent. Boodudes are innocent. Don't be smoking that ganja weed like the graveyard guy. Them graveyard guy better lead you straight just like a Rasta man. And a Rasta man may tell you that you cannot trust the current system. But Judge Dredd, Judge Roughneck, he'll gonna be leading us straight. And them dudes gonna be from innocent. Ska ska scary in the mortuary. We dance all merry, bloody Halloween. Rude, rude, rude dudes, formerly Boodudes. Bomberclot voodoo, court-ordered Halloween. Legal system rife with an awful stench. Judge Dredd toasted from on the bench and we say innocent, innocent. Boodudes are innocent. Ska ska scary.